On this episode of DockSide TV, we are fishing some of the coldest water temperatures we've ever fished around here. But we have found the redfish ganged up. Got another one right here. Get him in the boat. Oh, got him all over the floor. Stay tuned for this episode of DockSide TV. Fishing redfish in the winter, we cover a lot of water as fast as we can, and you're going to find them grouped up. And when I mean covering a lot of water, this is already the third place we've launched today. So instead of making a launch at one spot and hitting a lot of different areas and covering a lot of water with the boat, we're just simply running and gunning, bouncing, moving. That way we make real short boat rides. We started off in the Chef, launched at 2 different launches in the Chef, checked some places real close to the launch that we know redfish get, didn't see them, and then came and launched in Chalmette, and now we've checked 2 places over here, and on the second stop we found them pretty ganged up. And that's pretty much the name of the game when very cold. This isn't like your typical, you know, it's a little chilly outside, you need a jacket weather. This is brutal, the coldest Louisiana gets. The temperatures this week they're not even getting out of the 40s. The lows every night are in the 20s. So if you can find the redfish, you're gonna catch them every single day, and they're gonna be ganged up you're gonna catch them one after another, and they're not gonna move until the temperatures rise again. Got a little bit of a rookie mistake right here. We make plenty of mistakes out here. The line got hemmed up in the trolling motor while we were getting the camera ready. So we got plenty of line in the trolling motor, and we doing the old-fashioned reel him on in by hand maneuver. It's very effective. Whoa! And we're about to kill ourselves out here. Hold on here. Oh. But when they're biting like that, it don't matter. Let me try to fix that mess I got right here with another nice red on that Tiger Bait Matrix shad. There he is. Oh yeah, we done found them piled up here. And whenever we fished the Chef this morning, which we cream them in the wintertime over there, I think personally the water was just too cold. As we were reading 35, 36 on a depth finder, which is unbelievable. I mean, that might be the coldest I've ever seen my depth finder read. So I figured let's move south. A, the water's gonna be a little bit warmer by being south. And B, we're playing off of the Mississippi right here, which has 40, 50, 60 foot of water. Now, we're not fishing them that deep, but when it gets down in the 20s again tonight, these fish have a place to hide. Oh, there's another one right there. Another nice solid red. All these reds are pretty cookie cutter, 24s, 23s, 25-inch reds. But I'll hurry up and get in there. I don't know where my lure went there. Let's hurry up and get another one on. That was about the 3rd or 4th one I caught on that tiger bait. Let's try old Limbo Slice. Color's not very important when you're red fishing in the winter. You find them, you're gonna catch them. Got it on a 3/8 ounce. What I'm doing is I'm coming right off these rocks. I'm throwing in about 3 or 4 foot. When I bring it off, they're hitting in like 5 to 6 foot of water. There he is. It's just that, the hard part's finding them. And nobody likes to look for fish when it's 24 degrees outside. We left this morning at noon on purpose. Stayed in the office at Matrix Shad. Let that wind settle down, let the front try to get all the way through. But at noon, it was 31 degrees. I'm just starting to feel my fingers. Oh, get up here. We're gonna go ahead and tag and release a few fish here, as we got plenty for the grill tonight. Let's go ahead and get the tags out. All right, we're gonna go ahead and tag a couple of these fish. This is tag number 16725. I'm gonna release this fish. Obviously, we're right here in the locks in Chalmette. Recapture this fish and win a prize from MatrixShad.com. There he goes. Now let's see if we can get another one real quick. Like I said, you want to catch a lot of redfish, really, and have a good time. This is the time of year to do it, but you better have some good hunting clothes, some good gear, because you are going to be cold. My fingers right now are a little on the numb side. They're catching reds all over. Another place, if you don't have a boat, that's very well known for catching them when it gets brutally cold like this, is over there in Yoklowski by Shell Beach, Delacroix, Hopedale. They catch them right off the side of the road. You don't even need a boat over there. Got a few spots over here on the off the Pontchartrain basin that we do that also, where we catch them off the bank, that I will be trying this week. But usually one of these spots in Chalmette or the Chef's gonna have redfish pretty stacked up. And it took us a minute to find them today, but now that we found them, we'll be able to catch them like this all week, as it's not supposed to get out of the 40s until Friday this week. We're just simply moving. We got a little stretch of about maybe 50 feet that these reds are really piled up in, just working it right off these rocks. But and although the water temperature's in the 30s, or maybe it's hit 40 today, we're still popping this lure pretty hard. The fish are pretty aggressive. Pretty aggressive. They're just bundled up real tight. So it's a lot of doubles and triples. When you hook one, you're gonna hook 2 or 3 in a row. Then you might go on a little 5 or 10 minute slow period, since the fish are so tightly grouped. There he is. And that's all I do is I'll work a little zone over, and they're gonna get you know, I'll catch 2, 3, 4 in a row, and then they get kind of on to me. They start figuring out that lure is not real, and their buddies are going. And I'll just make another cast, maybe 30, 40 feet to the right, give those fish a break, and then come back to them and catch them like this. We'll go ahead and pop a tag in this one here too. Let me back off the bank so I don't bother these fish here. I mean, they got redfish of all shapes and sizes right here. This is the Bienvenue lock right here. And I can promise you the Violet lock is probably better. But the Violet lock's a solid 5-mile boat ride, and I do not feel like freezing today. Now, if we come back out here tomorrow and they're slow here, I know we should be able to find them at the Violet lock. Here's tag number 16764. Right on in. Blue matrix tag, call the number on the tag. Recapture that fish. and win a prize from MatrixShad.com. Let's get one or two more before we end the day here. Got a nice falling tide, and what's happening right here, see if you can see it on the camera, the tide's falling out the lock. You can see that current really moving in on the water, but the current peels right through the middle of the channel here, and it blows out all the way out into the Mystic Go. I can see that tide line. I mean, it just pushes out forever. But when you have lock systems like this, tight narrow spots where the tide screams, like if I were to cast over here, that tide would take my line at 100 miles an hour. I'd never touch the bottom. But right here it creates an eddy, and sometimes we call it a back eddy. The tide will be screaming out that way, but it'll eddy and start slipping back this way closer to the bank. And that's where the fish are gonna be. They're gonna be out of the main tide, sitting in the eddy tide, waiting for bait to get blown through this lock system here. There's just no way for them to really stage up in that hard current. It's just it's too much for them. But you just find that sweet spot off the main current line and getting this eddy, and they're gonna be piled up in here. You're never gonna catch one red when it's this cold. Just like fishing around, oh, I caught one, and you're gonna leave it alone and go a quarter mile down the bank and catch another one. When it's like this, if you catch one, milk it, stay right there, drop the anchor, spot lock. I mean, all we're doing basically with the trolling motor is just holding position. Because where there's one, there's plenty. If we can, get this one in the boat. If we can get this one in the boat, we're gonna end it on this episode. I mean, on this fish right here, this episode of DockSide TV. Of course, we forgot the net at the office, so the bigger ones have been quite challenging to get in, some of them. And as you saw earlier, we even had to pull one in by hand. I think I can flip this one, I believe. Oh, I don't know. Might go with this. I don't think I'm gonna try to flip this one. Let me see if I can grab it. We done broke off 4 or 5 trying to flip them in. These are a little bit, some of them are a little heavy. 6-7 pounds is about the max we like to flip. Oh, I had it. Oh, my hands are nice and warm. Anyway, again, don't let the weather scare you. You want to catch redfish one after the other. This is the time of year to do it. Just get you some good clothes and gear to wear out here. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Matrix Shad from MatrixShad.com of DockSide TV. And we have plenty of videos fishing reds in the freezing cold weather. Make sure to watch them all. Until next time, good fishing. Make sure to stay up to date with all of our DockSide TV episodes. Simply hit the subscribe button right here on your YouTube channel. Stay up to date with all of the action going on around the surrounding areas as we catch multiple species of fish, from trout to bass to redfish, flounder, and even crappie. Make sure to hit the post notification button also, which will allow you to know when our next and freshest DockSide TV episodes are uploaded.